Welcome to all of you. It's our honor to be on the platform with all of you for this FDP program. Once again, a very welcome to all the participants. And now I take this honor to welcome our eminent academician, a distinguished researcher, and an inspiring educator, Dr. Sonal Prohit ma'am, our speaker for today's FDP program. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Dr. Sonal currently serves as an associate professor in marketing at Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Nagpur, a constituency of Symbiosis International Deemed University. She possesses an outstanding academic background, holding PhD in management, being UGC NET qualified, and a gold medalist during her undergraduate studies. Adding further distinction to her academic journey, she has completed a postdoctoral fellowship from MICA. She brings with her rich teaching and academic experience with prestigious institutes such as EMPI Business School and Chandigarh University, Bansali Vidyapeeth. Her teaching expertise spans diverse area of marketing, including marketing management, analytics, customer relationship management, advertising, and foundation of marketing. And she is widely appreciated for her engaging and case based and discuss driven classroom approach. Dr. Sonal is also a prolific researcher with over 20 publications in high impact indexed journals, including the Journal of Travel and Research, Journal of Business Research, and Technological Forecasting and Social Change. Her internationally recognized case studies on Gram Shri Ahmedabad has been published by Harvard Business Review and iWay Publishing, which speaks volumes about the quality and relevance of her scholarly work. An alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad, Dr. Sonal has received multiple accolades for research excellence and case writing, including recognition at Ohio International Case Writing Competition. She has also contributed extensively as a research person for faculty development programs, conducting sessions on artificial intelligence in academics, and has successfully guided six doctoral scholars to PhD completion. We are truly fortunate, ma'am, to have you with us today. Your insight, experience, and scholarly rigor will undoubtedly enrich this faculty development program and provide valuable takeaway for all the participants. On behalf of our team, I once again welcome you and kindly request you to please take over. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the nice introduction. That was very comprehensive. I am truly grateful and humbled. Um,
Thank you. Pleasure
I would
us.
also like to extend my heartfelt thanks for the opportunity. And I know it's a Friday night, and Friday nights are not for academic discussions, but I'll try to keep it as light as possible and as much as useful as possible. Um, AI is very much discussed nowadays into the academic world for two reasons. The two reasons are that the students are using it, and the other reason is the teachers wondering how we should be using it for the benefit of the students. So our part is more important. Although I encourage my students also to use some sort of AI into their teaching assignments, learning assignments, but that's very very curated. Um, but every one of us, I mean, have this um, anxiety of AI, fearing that maybe it will replace us tomorrow. What is going to happen? How do we use it? So, I would like to start with a very quick question. Good evening, colleagues. Before we introduce ourselves, I would like to know if any of you can shout out a complex topic that they are going to teach next week. Any topic that you are going to teach next week in your classroom.
Ma'am, I wouldn't say it is a difficult one or a complex one, but definitely it has to be, I think, a bit different. Is like now we are getting into, apart from the curriculum, getting into the trainings of, aptitude or soft skills or anything. So it looks simple, but it has to be impactful. So this is what I think, how one can, get into betterment of putting something superior that can bring a bit more difference than others.
Okay. So this time I am taking research methodology and I'm also taking marketing and sales analytics. So one of the complex topics that is a bit difficult for the students to understand when it comes to research methodology is sampling method. Non-probability and probability sampling, more or less, is something which is really very much, which has a little difference between the various methods, and I would say that it's not a very easy topic for the students to understand. They think that it's easy, but making them critically think and understand this topic deeply might not be a very easy task for the students. So great. If told you that in the next 60 seconds I could create a full lesson plan for the topic that I'm going to teach, a 10-question quiz, a case study, and a professional slide deck for the topic, you'll call me a magician. But today I'm just a teacher with the right tools in my hands. So we are all here because our to-do list is growing. By the way, these days, days are getting longer, the tasks are getting bigger, and we spend hours on administrative side of teaching, formatting slides, writing rubrics, searching for the right video clips, and this leaves us with less time for the human side of teaching, that is mentoring, deep discussions, and research. So AI is not here to replace the teacher, because mentoring, deep discussions, and research is something that a teacher can always do. But it is here to replace the drudgery of teaching so that we can get back to the art of teaching. So in the next 55 or let's say 50 minutes, we aren't just going to talk about AI. We are going to build it. So I will say that you might leave from here with a tool that designs your presentations, an assistant that turns your research papers into podcasts that you can use for your classrooms, and a method to create content for students at 5 different reading levels in one click. Because the classrooms are more or less heterogeneous in nature, and there are fast learners, there are slow learners, and then there are average students. So there are some tools, AI based tools, that can create content for these various types of students at the various stages of learning process. So again, the question comes back is, how many of you feel AI anxiety, the feeling that students are using it but we are catching up? Or how many of you have ever spent more than 4 hours preparing a single 1 hour lecture? I used to do it, but no longer. So if you have raised your hand, you're in the right room. Or if you think so, you're in the right room. So we can stop being overwhelmed by AI and start being empowered by it. So with this, I would like to share the presentation that I have created for today, and you'll be really happy to know that this presentation is again created with the help of AI tools. And I'll tell you how. Um, is it visible? I hope the screen is visible.
Ma'am, not yet. Now I think
Okay.
yes. Now it is
Yes.
visible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the topic for today's discussion is AI based content and curation, and AI based content generation, AI based content creation and curation for the classrooms. So I'll start with a very basic thing, that there is a shift from consumer to creator. As an academician, we can use AI as a co-pilot. We can use AI as an assistant, a teaching assistant. It isn't here to replace the teachers, it is here to empower them. Think of you as an intelligent assistant handling the time consuming administrative tasks that drain your energy. And there is a lot of opportunity that AI is providing for making the classrooms interactive, for making the classrooms fun, for making the classrooms entertaining. We just have to know the right tools and how to use them. So if you can do this, you can have more time to research, more time to think deeply, more time to have mentor the students, more time to learn something new, and not waste your time in preparing slides and doing a lot of things. So there can be various ways in which AI teaching toolkit can be applied. It can be applied for content creation. It can be applied for lesson planning. It can be applied for assessment. It can be applied for personalization. It can be applied for feedback, or it can be also applied for analytics. But right now, I will be focusing on two things. The two things are related to content generation and curation, as we have promised for this 1 hour. That is two things, that is content generation and lesson planning. How can What are the AI tools and how can you use these tools for generation of content and planning the lessons for the various subjects, or let's say the various courses. And the second thing that we are going to focus on today is visual storytelling and presentations, for which AI tools are there. And these presentations can be really compelling and very interactive for the classroom, so that the students can also connect while you are teaching them the concepts. The students can remain connected. So let's look at the first one. So as said, that we'll be looking at AI tools for creation of content and curation of the content that we are preparing for our classrooms. And I mentioned research methodology, but I'm also a marketing teacher. So I'll be giving you various examples. There, here are the two tools. I'm not saying that these are the only two tools, but these are the two tools that I find really useful. So the two tools are Magic School AI, and another one is Eduite AI, and I'll be showing some of the applications of these two AI tools. And these are available online, very easy to access. The basic version is free, or the trial version is free. And if anybody is interested in upgrading, then the price is also not very high, right? So let's begin with Magic School AI. This is a very comprehensive suite with a lot of tools which are designed for educators, specifically for educators. It allows generation of content. It allows generation of rubrics. It also allows for feedback and assessment. But right now, I'm focusing on how can it be used for content creation and content curation. So let me open the website here. And if you want, if you feel like, you can also open it alongside and prepare your next class maybe. I'm just resharing the screen. Yeah, here it is. Please let me know if it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is magicschool.ai, and I'm going to try it free version. You can also go for login if we already have an account. I have connected it with my official email ID, so I'll be using it here. I'm sorry, the internet is a bit slow today, so please bear with me. Yeah. So I'm selecting, I'll be using it as an educator, and I will sign in with Google. Yes, here it is. So I want to use Magic School AI for content generation, but here you can see a lot of tools, a lot of them, that tells you the power of AI for content creation and curation as well. So you can use it for generating multiple choice quiz assessment, for lesson plan generation, for writing feedbacks to the student, for academic contents, for presentations, for professional emails, and a lot of things. I would like to focus on how can we use it for having a presentation. So I'm going to this presentation generator first. How can we be ready for the class? Right. So I'm going to this presentation generator first. Yeah. So you can see there are a lot of things to select from. I'm selecting, this is for year 12, year 13, year. So I'm doing it for university, or let's say professional staff. So I'll do it for professional staff. The number of slides that I want to generate, I can select the number of slides that I want to generate. I want 5 slides, let's say. And here is the option wherein we can add a lot of files or websites, even the content from the website, directly to this tool, and the tool will collect all the information from the website and convert it into a slide. So time is not wasted in preparing presentations. Anyways, we are sourcing the content from internet sources, or let's say PDF books or a lot of other things. So we can directly add it here and prepare a presentation and curate it later. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload it from a website, because I said that I'm interested in teaching sampling methods. So here is this, I found this beautiful website, very nice website by Juice, wherein they have very explicitly explained the sampling methods, and I am typing it here, and we can submit it. And it might take a while for processing it. And then I can also give some additional criteria. For example, I am giving here that one question should be added after each of the topics. So I'm adding it here. Then I can also look at, so I'm going to generate now. I'm going to generate the slides now. So it will look into the website, and then it will generate the content for you that can be directly pasted in your slides. So just see, I used this time and it was really good, and I could really explain the concept in my class very well. So here's the concept or content on, it has given you in slide 1 what is going to be the title, in slide 2 what is going to be the title, and as you can see, it is giving questions after each of the slides. So I've used this for my presentation this time, sampling methods in statistics, introduction to sampling methods. And then there is a question, and then there is slide 3, probability sampling methods. And then there is with examples, and then there is question again, and then there is slide 4. So this content is ready, can be readily pasted into a slide that can be used directly for your classroom discussions. And there are questions also, the class becomes interactive. Now, what more can be done here is there is an action slide, let's see it here. You can also export it, this content. You can copy everything at once. You can print it, or you can edit the message for if you think that something is left out and you want to edit it, that is also possible. So this is one use of Magic AI, but this is not at all, the only one use that is possible with the help of this tool. I am going to show you how we can use it for more content, for making a class very, very interactive. Let's say I want to generate a comprehensive lesson plan. Okay, so I'm going back to the main tools, and I'm going to this lesson plan. And let's say I'm taking a marketing class and I have planned the use of I want to teach 4 P's of marketing, or I want to discuss 4 P's of marketing in the class. And I'm also looking for integration of how the four P's have now come to 4 C's. And I would also like to add a live case study. So here's the prompt that I have already made, and I'm pasting it here directly. So here is the lesson plan. This is for professional staff, and I can directly, um, paste it here. So I'm pasting it here, my prompt. Generate a 90-minute lesson plan for the 4 P's of marketing, that is product, price, place, promotion, specifically for MBA students. So it's good to always mention for whom you are generating this content, and how much time do you need for conducting this class. It is much better for to do that, so that accordingly the content can be generated. So I'm also saying that include a focus on the transition from traditional 4 P's to 4 C's: consumer, cost, convenience, and communication in a digital first economy. And I've also wanted to include a section for a 15-minute live case study discussion regarding a high growth tech startup like Nvidia or Airbnb. So I will be ready with this everything in minutes, and there is nothing else that I would like to put in here. And I'm directly generating this lesson plan, and I can add a lot of things here. Let's say, for example, standards. The standards can be any of the standards followed across the worldwide, or there can be additional criterias. Let's say the students are in India, so please use the examples only from India. This can also be put in here, but you can also add files from here for a more comprehensive. These files can be, it can be a PDF. You can directly upload it from the Google Drive, or upload it from your phone, or you can also add a website from where you would like to like this tool to borrow some content. So I'm generating it now, and it might take a while to generate a beautiful lesson plan. And that lesson plan might be really helpful for you in designing the slides, or let's say you're planning the class as well. So here it is. It's a document here, and the document can be downloaded directly. So it's telling you what should you be doing, how should be your assessment, what should be the learning objectives, how your assessment should look like, what are the key points that you can pick up while you are discussing in the class, and then how should you open, what is the opening agenda, what are the learning objectives, what are the deliverables and rubrics as well, right? So it tells you how should you start, what is the introduction to new material, how should you define them, and then guided practice, what activities can you conduct in the classroom, and how can you mentor the students' performance. And then here is the live case study that we have asked it for. So the case choices are given here, and then the students can, the prompts that the student should be using are also given here. And then it has also given an assignment of 25 minutes that the student should be doing independently. Now the closing is also given here, the extension activity is given here, the homework is given here, the standards are given, what standards have they aligned with, it is also given here. You can make a lot of changes by sending in message from here. And that's how you can create a wonderful lesson plan for your classrooms without wasting a lot of time in collecting content, or applying your mind in how the class should look like. If you want to make it really interactive, and from here you get a lot of prompts to start your class as well. So this is really nice. And there's one more application that I would like to discuss, that is very useful for my classes at least. That is we all are looking for case studies. Now case studies, Harvard case studies or Ivy case studies are not freely available. That's one of the problems. And the second problem that I see here is, even if the case studies are available, like our institute supports us for cases of our choice from HBR or IB wherever we want. But the problem that I foresee here is there is not a case for every topic. So if I'm looking a case specifically on 4 C's of marketing or 4 P's of marketing, it is not readily available in the database. So if I want to take a case in my class on this topic, how do I take it? So for generating a case study, real world application, right? Again, the Magic AI has a tool, and this tool is basically here you can look at real world application. Let me see where it is. Image generator, worksheet generator, text rewriter, writing feedback, presentation generator. Um, Here, real world connections. It is not real world applications. SIP generator, BIP generator. I think I'm missing out on something. They do not have. Let me see if there is something in academic content. Okay, let's try this one. I think this might suffice. So I'm saying that I would like to have a case, write a brief data-driven case study for an MBA classroom, focusing on the price and place strategies of a luxury brand. Let's say Porsche or Rolex. And I've written that you have to be very precise and very informative while designing a prompt, because as long as you are giving very specific and very precise information to any of the AI tools, the outcome is going to be really good. So I'm saying that this case study is for MBA classroom, and I want the case to be brief, and I want the case to be data driven, and I am focusing on the place and price and place strategies only. I am not focusing on the other two strategies. And let's say I would like to add a luxury brand here. These luxury brands can be either Porsche or it can be Rolex. And I've also told that to this AI tool that how their distribution channels influence their premium pricing strategies. And I would like this tool to follow the case study with 3 high level discussion questions. So I also want to generate questions that should be discussed in the class and challenge the students to analyze how a 10% increase in supply might dilute brand equity. So here's my prompt, and I'll just go to generate, and they want to fill out this as well. So let's say I want just 500 words case. So I can say that 500 words is the case. And let's say I want a persuasive text. Okay, I want a case study. And I can also give additional criteria, which I don't want to give as of now. So the case will be generated. Here it is, a short MBA case study. You can see that they have focused on price and the strategy as discussed, and they have also used some data. And they focused on Rolex. And this is a fictitious case that can be discussed in your classroom, and but not for the publication purpose. Yeah. So here are the 3 discussion questions, and it has also given a note to the instructor. So this is very easy. I mean, this is very easy to take in the classrooms. This is handy and very specific content that can be taken up for the complex topics as well, on which cases are not readily available. So this is one of the another tool, really useful tool when it comes to Magic AI for preparing for the classrooms. Now, if I want to use it for quiz or assessment, then again there is a tool. Let's say I go back here and go to this. Yeah, here. Multiple choice quiz, or let's say assessment, and I select it. And professional staff, I want 10 questions, let's say. And I want again this to look at the same website, that is Byju's, from where I had taken the PPTs on sampling designs. So I would like to maybe I want to add some questions to the slide for discussion in the end to understand whether my students have been able to grasp the subject well or not, or maybe I can use it for an evaluation. So I have uploaded it and it is processing it, and yeah, so it's there, and I can also give them standards and then generate. So for this class, I have really used this Magic School AI plus other tools for preparing the slides and curating them with the help of other tools, and it was really nice. And I could feel the sense that the classes were really interactive, and the students' learning could be tested through these questions in the end. So you see, it has generated all the 10 questions that I can add to the PPT for a discussion in the last 10 to 20 minutes for understanding whether the students have understood what I was trying to tell them or not. Or I can also use these for my quiz or my assessment or evaluations or anything. And it has also given me answer key. But it's very important to match up the answer key whether it is appropriate or not, because sometimes AI tools can also create errors. Um, so so that's how the complete session plan, lesson plan, the content, the questions, the evaluation, everything can be done in fraction of seconds. So that's the first thing that I wanted to really take up. The second thing that I want to take up here is the next website. I'll just you know present it again. So the next website here is, I'll be opening it and sharing the screen. The next website here is eduite.ai. Yes. So I'm going to continue again with Google, and they have also got a trial basic version. But if somebody is interested, they also have a upgrade version that can also be bought at a very decent price. I know it's not possible to spend on a lot of tools, but we can always have choose and select what exactly do we want to do. So see, it's for the teaching resources only. AI recommends the teaching resources, and there are a lot of things that can be done here again. You can browse the teaching resources, you can browse the graphic organizers, or you can browse games, and it does a lot of things: real world examples, engagement activities, learning objectives, jigsaw activities. It has a lot of things that can be done. So I was saying that I was typically interested in telling you that there is a there's a real world example section, and in this real world example section can do wonders. So let's try it and see how it is useful. So real world examples, so it will ask for the learning object. Now the beauty of this tool is it will create content which matches with the learning objectives of your course, and the topic and main idea, it also matches it with the topic and main idea. So as I said that I am teaching taking up research methodology course this year. So I have this learning objective of, let me open it. I have the course here, and yeah, so let's say the learning objective here in my course is, I'm putting it here, to enable the students to synthesize qualitative and quantitative data crunching techniques, right? And I'm again saying that I'm interested in taking up sampling design topic for the students. And that's all. And simply go, you can also use a website here or a document here, and the reading level has to be determined. It's not first grade students, we are talking about the professional staff or adult learners, or we can say college level students. But I'm understanding that we are using it for the professional or staff adult learners um, for a better outcome. So I'm generating it here now, and I think it will like me to do it again. Yeah, real world examples, and here is my learning objective, and I am taking sampling design, and this is for the professional staff or adult learners, and then I click generate. So it has given me a scenario. The scenario 1, it's a real world example. Scenario 2, employee satisfaction survey, and it has given me a guiding question. So I can take up these scenarios. Both the scenarios have a guiding question. I can take up these scenarios in the classroom, discuss this real world example in my classroom. Let's see if the first one, a company is preparing to launch a new health drink targeted to busy professionals. To ensure that they meet customer preferences, they decide to conduct a market research. The team uses a sampling design to select a diverse group of potential consumers from various demographics, age, occupation, and lifestyle. They distribute surveys to these individuals asking about their preferences for flavors, packaging, and nutrition content. Once the data is collected, they analyze both qualitative feedback and quantitative ratings to make informed decisions about the product features. So, here's the question. So, now my submission here is that you just see how the class is going from, and I would like to mention Bloom's taxonomy here. We are moving from basic understanding towards the real world applications as well. So in the first part, we have seen how can we generate content to be taken up in the classroom. That's the basic understanding level. Then we have seen a tool wherein we can say that, okay, I need a case for this discussion, and the case is there. Then we have seen a third tool wherein we are looking at the quiz questions for evaluating the students' understanding, and then we are looking at something wherein the students can apply the knowledge gained so far to see where they stand and how can they be prepared for the real world. So that's the beauty of these tools. Your class is completely interactive. The class is completely, prepared for the Bloom's taxonomies applications, and the students are also ready for facing the real world challenges. So from basic to applied. Applied is really important. I keep telling to my students, applied is the part that you should be focusing on. It's not theories. Theories application. How will you apply these theories in the real world? That's more important. So I start from theories, and then I ensure that I'm also giving them something that they should be applying and learning for improvising their critical thinking, as well as looking at how can they be prepared for the real world. So this is the second tool, and it has more benefits, of course. It can also be used for a lot of other things, as you have seen on the first page. Let me get back there. And so it has a Montessori lesson plan, and this Montessori lesson plan is something that can be used for preparing lesson plans for the various levels of students, those who are at the very basic stage, those who are fast learners, those who are slow learners. And you can also, prepare some games for your classroom, and you can also select a lot of, see these subjects directly, and a lot of engagement activities can be created for the classrooms for making the classes more interactive. So this also has a lot of applications, and it's a very useful tool. Now the third tool that I'm going to discover here is, let me share my PPT. Yeah. So we've looked at Magic School AI, and we've looked at eduite.ai, and so there's one more tool which is known as QueryPod, and QueryPod is meant for generating instant interactive lessons. So let me again show you how this is possible. So maybe you can go through the PPT. Meanwhile, I will be opening this QueryPod, and tell you how can we create mini lessons and all through this tool. After this, we'll be shifting to the visual content. So I'm saying that we have generated content for the slides, but how to make those slides really attractive? How can we make this slide really, possible? How is it possible in a fraction of seconds to take up these slides to the classrooms? That's also really important. So there are tools for it. One of them I'm using right now while I'm showing you the PPT. I prepared my PPT through that. So let me share my screen. So I'm saying that we are going to look at QueryPod. I'm going to continue with Google. Yeah. So I can log in because it's already signed up. Continue with Google. Yeah, thankfully it's here. Um, and you can see this is the free version, but there is an upgrade option as well in case you would be interested in it. So we are at home, but it's taking a while to, yeah. So what do you want to do? You can go for reading and writing skill practice. You can go ask your student for vocabulary practice. You can prepare mini lessons. So I'm going to, you can also look at rubric based AI feedback, immersive literacy, Curie quiz. There are a lot of things. But right now I am going to look at how to create a mini lesson through this. So what I'm going to do here is, because I want it for an MBA class. So let's say I want to generate a mini lesson for sampling design in business research methods. So I have selected this and I will simply generate it within fraction of seconds. This is very simple to use, and you can also curate it further. Yeah, so it is saying that it's confirming whether I want to do this or not, but my plan is a bit different. So I want to describe all the probability and non-probability sampling methods. So I will just tell QueryPod what I want to do. I want to describe all the probability and non-probability sampling methods, and I'm not interested in explain the difference between probability and non-probability sampling methods. Rather, I want to explain them, and I can also tell it further what exactly I'm looking for on what I want to do. So it will curate it for me. Then I'll keep chatting with it, and I will also so it's here. It's a lesson ready to be generated, but don't want to generate lesson. I still have more to tell it. I wanted to insert polls wherever applicable. So I have told it what I want to do. I want to insert polls wherever applicable. I can check the objectives if they are correct or not. And yeah, so now I am done. I don't want to do anything further, but if you want, you can keep chatting and keep adding things. So now I will generate the lesson. Now it will ask me for some designs. I'm taking this classic Curipod design and continue. Yeah. See, now the beauty here is this is a very highly interactive session wherein the students can join live with a pin, and it can be shared with the students, and the students can, if it's an online class as well, then also it's very effective. You can go to class simulator, you can start the lesson, you can share the pin with the students, and the students can join the classroom discussion with the help of a pin, and you'll see this is very, very interactive in nature, right? It's telling you the objectives, it's telling you the two sampling families, it's interactive because it is asking the students to list one unique trait for each sampling family and one trait they would like to share. And here is the pin. You can see, look at this pin, and this pin can be used by the students to join these sessions. And see, it's explaining the probability sampling pyramid and the non-probability sampling pyramid. And then it is giving a question to the students to check whether they are actually present in the class or they are just physically present in the class. So can you spot the mistake? And this is a very, very interactive and beautiful way of, taking up very complex topics in the classroom. So this is another one that can be useful, and because we are short of time, so I'm running very fast. Please excuse me for this. I would like to share my PPT again here, and go into, now we have completed the part that is on the content generation and curation. Now we are moving on to the next part, that is more or less on how visualization can be integrated into the classrooms. So yeah, so here it is. How can you personalize and differentiate with the DFIT? And DFIT is the tool wherein you can prepare lessons for five reading levels on a single topic. And this is very useful for the classrooms where there's a heterogeneous crowd. I've seen this crowd in my classrooms wherein some are very fast learners because they are coming from BBA backgrounds or some engineering backgrounds, but there are others who are really slow learners because they are coming from they are not coming from all these kinds of backgrounds, and this is very useful for them. So let me show it to you again, DFIT, how DFIT can be useful. So I'll be opening this, and this is again very, very simple and very effective for use. And you can also make use of readily available YouTube videos to create your lessons with the help of DFIT. And let's see how it works, how it creates magic. So I'm again sharing my screen for the PPT, sorry, for the website. Yeah, so DFIT is here, and I want to try DFIT for free. It will ask me to sign up or maybe log in, and the basic version is free, but if you want to upgrade, there is a possibility always. I'll select sign in options and I'll continue with Google. Yeah. So I'm saying that I am a classroom teacher, and the grade that I'm teaching is other. And let's say I'm teaching something business and entrepreneurship, and continue. And I'm just selecting this one because we are short of time right now. And here are these student ready resources. See, you can do literally anything. You can upload books, text, PDFs, or YouTube links. I'm using a YouTube link here for creating a plan, lesson plan. This YouTube link is explaining again the sampling methods, and I'm pasting the link of this YouTube video here, and we can wait for the magic. So this is the YouTube link which I have pasted here, and it's going to generate the resources. This was a video on sampling method. This video has explained sampling methods, but I don't want to show this video as it is in the classroom. I want to curate it for my various learners, the heterogeneous learners, which are different from
Sorry
each
for the
other.
interruption. Ma'am,
So
your screen is free.
I've used DFID.
Oh,
Yeah,
ma'am,
my
your
screen is sorry.
freeze. Your screen is freeze. We are on the front page, like see rising only. Further screen is not visible.
Oh, um, let me try it again.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
Yeah. So here it is, reading and summary, and you'll see that this is the first one, this is the second one, vocabulary for the people who are not very comfortable with this. This is the multiple choice questions, and these are the short answer questions for the various types of students, right? Some who are interested in short questions, then think, pair, share, who can't work alone, who want to work in teams, and the 5 Ws. This again, these are the various 5 types of lessons for the various students and crowd. So those who are interested in reading can use this, those who are interested in understanding the vocabulary can use this, those who are understanding, those who are a fast learner, which who are already aware of the concept and they are not interested in reading the concept, but they want to check whether their understanding is perfect, or they want to add something to it, they can use these multiple choice questions. And then the students who have crossed this line as well, they can use these short answer questions to check their knowledge. And then those who are into the advanced state, they can use this think, pair, share. And then again, this is more applied in nature. So you can see that these are the 5 lesson plans that have been created in a single click using a simple YouTube video. So that's where DFID comes into picture. I have a lot more tools, but I'm not sure if time is permitting us or not. I can simply tell you the last one, which is one of my favorites. That is LM Notebook. I'm not sure if you have heard about it or not. Let me share my presentation screen. Or rather than sharing the presentation screen, I think I will directly like to go to LM Notebook and show you how LM Notebook is a really useful tool for taking up into the classrooms. So you can simply search Google LM Notebook on Google, and let me share the screen. Yeah. I'd rather share the entire screen for a better connect and time saving. Yeah. So I go here. This is possible by searching it on Google itself, LM Notebook, and I go to the LM Notebook and I am trying the LM Notebook. The basic one is free here, and the upgraded version can always be, subscribed for. And I'm logged in, and it gives me a lot of like options, and I'm interested in creating a new LM notebook, right? So this is very useful. You can again upload a lot of files, or you can search it from the websites, again YouTube videos, or drive, or copy text, and a lot of things. So I had this another topic of literature review, which is again more complicated than sampling design procedures, and I wanted to create a podcast on this, and also a video on this, which the students can use for at their convenience. So I am uploading this file now. This is a research paper on literature review, and this is a very interesting research paper, very useful for the students to understand what all are the types of literature reviews that can be used by the students. So this is uploading it, and after upload, I'll show you how this is very useful. Meanwhile, you can see here, a audio overview can be prepared. So it gives me a summary of this entire uh, PDF. This is a research paper. It has given me a summary of it, and it is now asking me, um, what do you want to do? So I can create an audio, I can create a video, I can create a mind map, I can create a report, I can also create a slide deck through it. There are a lot of things that I can do. I can also create a quiz. So let's say I want to create an audio of this, right? So I'll click on this. It takes a bit of time for I can also create flashcards that I can be that I can use in the classrooms for initiating the discussions. So let's say it will show me a flashcard on TCCM, and I can ask the students, okay, what do you mean by TCCM? So that's how the discussion can start. So it's generating this audio for me now, and this audio can be used as a podcast by the students. For after I discuss everything in the class, let's say I have created a slide deck, and I have taken this slide deck to the classroom, and I've also integrated those flashcards, and now I want the students to reflect on this paper as per their convenience, when they are sitting in their homes, or in their hostels, or in the gardens, or wherever they want, because everybody has an access to the mobile phones nowadays, and it's really easy for them to listen to the podcast. So it will give me a podcast on this entire research paper that the student can hear as and when they want. Apart from this, there is a video overview as well. You can also create videos of this entire research paper, or any PDF file, or any book of your choice that can be used by the students at a later stage. So that's really interesting, and this is I don't know whether it will take time to create this podcast, but you can try your own podcast. I have used it for creating mind maps. I have used it for creating infographics. I have used it for creating videos that I would like, that I generally integrate it into my classrooms while I'm discussing topics. So it's an interesting way of making your classes more interactive, rather than see what happens is, we think that classroom means we are the voice, and students are the passive receivers of this voice, and we are filling up their empty minds, but that's not the case. Students have to be really involved into the classroom. They have to be involved into the discussions. The classroom should be really interactive. All the students are not able to receive much. Some of them want to look at it from different viewpoints. Some are good listeners, some want to look at the videos some want to learn it through the quiz, some want to have more discussions, some want to have more case studies. So you have a tool for each of your student, and this is wonderful, and AI is very helpful in doing that. So I think I have covered more or less majority of the tools that I wanted to discuss in this class. I can also just go through the PPT and tell you about more tools. Maybe you can look at them at a later date, or as per your convenience, to check if there are more useful tools for you. So DFIT I have already covered, and then there is visual storytelling and presentations, wherein I have already discussed this LM notebook, but there is also Gamma, and I have prepared this presentation with the help of Gamma only. What I've done done is I've uploaded the entire content that I wanted to discuss today, and then I gave it some instructions and I told that please prepare a slide. So the slide is very handy. It is ready to be presented anywhere where there is an internet and there is an online access, and this is very helpful. It also gives a lot of visual things to make the PPT more interesting and more interactive. So this is one, and smart curation and research can be done with the help of LM Notebook, and the content is really interesting, and it is there is a content for each of the students, and then there are various tools for feedback and assessments, but I have not covered these feedback and assessment tools in today's presentation. And thank you, and I appreciate your time for listening, and I hope that I was able to tell something which might be useful for your own classrooms. Yeah, I'm open for questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was really a very enlightening session. And anybody wants to have any question, please can go ahead and ask. By that time, ma'am, what I want to say is that when I was hearing you, education is an ongoing journey, is what I could feel, and I think everybody agrees with me, because though we are a faculty, we were learning so many things new, which was like really new to us, to making the faculty development possible. So this was really a very enlightening session. Um, is there any other question
Thank
anybody
you.
is having, or should we move ahead with vote of thanks?
Ma'am, I want to ask something.
Yes.
It's a request to please share these PPTs and data, and if any additional tools are available with you, do share it with us. I always believe if you are not updated, then you are outdated.
That's
So,
very
with the
true. I
help of
agree with
your
you.
tools, yeah. So, with the help of your AI tools and suggestion, we can definitely update our knowledge and skills.
I would love
Thank
to
you so
share
much.
the presentation with you. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much for a wonderful session.
Thank you. My
Thank
pleasure.
Thank you. And now I take this honor to officially give you a vote of thanks, which is an honor for myself. I'm grateful and for you to delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking lecture on AI-based content creation and curation for the classroom. Session was really beautifully bridged the gap between the emerging artificial intelligence and effective practices that have been followed in teaching. Ma'am, your deep subject knowledge combined with rich academic experience enabled us to understand the complex concepts, making it simpler, structured, and highly relatable manner. The examples, the demonstration, and the best practices that you shared today during the session has provided us with a valuable takeaway that we can readily implement in our classroom. We sincerely appreciate for taking time out from your busy academic and research schedule for today's session, and generously sharing your expertise with all the faculty members of Julilal Institute of Technology and other management schools. Your contribution has truly added great value to this faculty development program. I once again extend a heartfelt gratitude uh, to you, to the management and the organizing committee, and of course to all the participants who, because of whom this faculty program has been successful. I and the team of Julilal Institute of Management really look forward to have many more sessions like this, and we are open for all the feedbacks. Any kind of suggestion, please do let us know. We will happily take it and try to come back again with more faculty development programs which can enhance both the management committee as well as the participants. On this note, I once again express my thanks to all of you and have a great evening. If there is any suggestion that you feel we should take into consideration, please feel free to express us. Or any feedback, if anybody is having with this 1 week of FDP, please do share with us on this platform. Also, we will be sharing you the link for feedback form and also a quiz link that all of you need to fill up. And by next week, we will be making sure that the certificates reach out to all of you. I think we should. Yes. Okay. I think we should now say goodbye on a note that we all will meet once again on such platforms very soon. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again. Bye.
मुबीना मैम, थैंक यू सो मच. बहुत अच्छा ये था. Thank you, Priyanka ma'am.
Most welcome, Sanika ma'am, that you are a part of this FDP. Please do keep participating. We will be more than happy
Yeah,
to
sure.
have you all the
Please
time.
share your upcoming events and FDPs. Actually, I'm not from Nagpur. मुझे ये लिंगे सर ने भेजा था, शेयर किया था.
Okay.
वहाँ से मुझे मिला, but really informative. बहुत अच्छा हुआ.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.